Well, here we are with our Jewish story in a box. So what we're going to do, I'm going to get into a little case here. I'm just going to open this up and we'll take a look at what's inside. There's two sides to this, obviously. I'm going to bring things out and lay them out so that we can see what they are. So there's a sheet here. That is the backdrop. Here is a lint roller to clean said backdrop when it gets bits on it. We have several tripods. We have some, if you just come in a little closer with the little heads on, they are for the lights. And there's two of those with little screw heads. Two like that. And there's a bag here with lights. So we're going to put the lights with the light tripods. But I'm going to lay everything out so you can see the whole thing. Then there's a little box here. This has got the microphone in it, but it's also got all the cables and the all important smartphone, isn't there? Then we'll have another tripod. This one has got no head on it right now. Goes there. We'll find the head of that in a second. Then on the other side of this bag, coming a little closer, we have a bag which contains all the poles of the backdrop. So we'll put that with the backdrop. We have a cable with power, USBs and USB-Cs. We have a battery backup, and we have the head for that tripod. That is it. There's also some instructions in there for how to put the tripod together, the backdrop together, as well as instructions on the code for the box. Okay, so let's put this to one side now that we've unpacked everything. We'll just park it out of the way. So I'm going to start with the backdrop. So I'm going to just come in a little closer. This backdrop, there's a bunch of poles and a couple of tripods. So there's a tripod leg and another one. Those are the stands. There are two extremely important little clips which you need to put to one side, as well as clamps to hold the backdrop flat. Then in here, wait for the noise, there are a bunch of poles which are conveniently numbered. You see the 10s? So what I do is I put the 10s, 8, 7, there is no 9. So it's 7, 8, 10. That's because there are 6s. We don't want to confuse them. So I take all the 10s, 7, 8s and 10s, and I put them to one side. The reason is that that's the top bar, and we're not going to need that to start with. So they're all out of the way. I then pop open the tripods, and now we're just going to do paint by number here. It's super simple. I usually put these next to each other like this, because I'm now going to take the number 2s. So you can see 3, the number 2 there, and the number 2, you want to just come in closer. It's got a screw on there. It just screws in like that. And you'll see the number 2's got a fitting at the top, where I'm going to put number 3 in a minute. So I usually put both number 2's in first and get them out of the way. And then we'll go to number 3's. Now number 3 goes the other way around. You put it in. Yeah. It does go nice and easily. Take the number 3, the non-screw. It's got a screw on one end and none on the other. So you put the non-screw end in where that, and I usually drop it down to where the screw begins, like that. I do number 3 here too. Drop it down like that, because otherwise you're going to end up through the ceiling. And then we take number 4, which is also got that on the top end of it. screw on the bottom end. And screw that in. Number 4. And then I'm looking for number 5. There's 2 of those. As you see, couldn't be simpler. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I usually put that about halfway up. Just tracking the same height as we go, so that at least when we get to the top, they are the same height. I screw that up. And the top one's a number 6. On the top of number 6 has got that, that's where the pole sits at the top. So we screw it in. It's pretty obvious because you can only screw it in one end. When you get good at this, you do both at the same time. I'm going to take these 2 now assembled pieces. I'm going to put them either side of the chair that we're going to use in a bit. Then I take a 7 and an 8. There is no 9. So we use 10. And then we put another 7. That leaves you a bunch of 10s you've not used. If you ever want to make a wider backdrop, get a wider piece of fabric, you've got plenty of 10s there to make that as wide as you want it to be. That's going to be around about a little bit under 6 foot, 5 foot something. All right, so what I do, I prop this up initially on the top there like that. I take one of my little bolt things and I connect one end first. Like that. So that's held. Then I go and get our backdrop cloth. I'll unfurl it. And what we see is that there's a little of a gusset thing there. So what I'm going to do is thread this over the end of this to get it started. Just enough so I can hold it. Then I take that off like that and I feed it over. So, and now I've got my other little bolt in my teeth. I can now put this, line it up, and put the second bolt in to the second pole, and now it's kind of fixed. So, here it is. Now my pole is fixed. I can easily just pull my little curtain across. I have some clips, bunch of clips. I'm going to put here. And then what I do, I go to, if you imagine the head height's going to be here, that's the piece that we need to make sure is really taken care of first. I put a clip on one side, and I go to the other side, and I just pull that taut and clip it. And while I'm here, I'll do the next one. I'm only going to use 4 of these, but there are 6 if you want them. And now we should have a pretty wrinkle-free situation right around where the head is. And I'm going to take my lint roller and just give it a quick whiz around with the lint. Find it. Yes. Particularly where I'm going to need it, which is right where this person's head is. It's amazing how those little white flecks show up when you least want them and expect them. You don't need to have it. I'm going to put my chair about 3 feet in front of, 2.5 to 3 feet in front of the black, because we want that black to disappear into the distance behind the person. All right, we're done on that section. I'm going to put the poles neatly in the bag. And stick the lint roller in there. and the spare clips, and we're good. Now, next up is the camera. So here's the camera tripod, made of 2 parts. You open it, lock it. Then I usually do 2. I open them. We may need to drop these down later, but we'll see. 1, 2, open. 1, 2, open. Now what I'm going to do is take the phone holder and I'm going to insert that in there, and I'm going to just leave it a couple of inches between the screw there and the top, because I'm going to clip the microphone on there in a minute. Now you got this will allow it to spin. We can lock that off in a minute. All these will lock it. We'll get it locked in position later. And what I usually do is just drop the phone in, just so I've got that. You can see this just opens up, spring loaded. Pull it. That's it. Simple as that. Now we're going to need some power. So here's our power cord. I usually put the power source under the tripod. You'll see most things are going to be around the tripod. Now we're going to put the lights together. Tripods, super easy. Just undo that. I usually get a decent spread because you want it to be stable. 1, 2 is usually enough, because our subject's pretty low down. And then we've got this head on here which swivels. If you can see that. Let's put it vertical for now. Then I take out my light. I don't have to turn the light, because on the side here there's a way to screw on the side. So all I need to do is put the screw on the holder there and just screw around, and it will tighten it up itself. Am I going the right way? Oh, there we go. I've got that now. I can also use that and bend it. I can unlock it there and bend it down a little. And then I'm going to go a little higher like that. So it's about 5 feet. And then I'm going to position this at about 45 degrees to the chair. I'm going to unfurl the cable. And I'm going to plug it into this power block here. There's 3 USBs, so it's going to the USB. We'll do the same for the second one. Open out the legs. 1, 2, and a bit. Take the light. Use the screw thread on the side, screw it on. Point it down a little. Tighten it up. Open the cable. Voila. He says. A little bit of Velcro there. It's good. And plug it into the USB. Now, what I will do to get the lights set up and switched on is I take both of these connections in the hand at the same time. Oh, hang on, we need more cable. The good thing about these lights is they've got good length of cable on them. But just need to unwrap that one. So what I would do is I'll take, if you come in close on these controls. So there's a control for power on. I hit them both at the same time. Both come on. Then what I do is I use the mode to go to the warm color. So 1 click each. And then I go use the down arrow just to reduce the amount of light a little, because they're too bright for these close-ups. And I position them about 45 degrees to the character and about just a little under 5 foot.